Hi, in this video, I will go over how to use online financial calculator to calculate the present value and future value of annuity. Here is the timeline of cash flows for 4-period annuity. So this annuity will give you payment $100 in consecutive 4 periods. The discount rate for 1 period is 5%. We can use the traditional discounting calculation to calculate the present value of $100 at the end of each period. For example, for the $100 1 year later, the present value of this $100 will be $95.24. The present value of $100 2 years later will be $90.70. The present value of $100 3 years later will be $86.38. And the present value of $100 4 years later will be $82.27. After you calculating the present value of these each cash flow at different time point, then you sum them together, you aggregate them together, you get the present value of these streams of cash flow. This present value of annuity will be $354.59. Can we find a better way or much easier way to calculate the present value of annuity? Well, we can. We have talked about the present value annuity factor. It is an equation that helps you to do this calculation quickly. In fact, we can use the function of financial calculator to do this calculation very quickly. Here, the payment for this 4-period annuity will be $100 in each period. You have consecutive 4 periods of payments, and the discount rate is 5%. Let's use an online financial calculator. The payment is $100. The discount rate is 5%. We have 4 periods of payments, and we do this compounding. We do this calculation with annual frequency. Let's calculate the present value of this annuity. It is $354.60. You may have slight difference between the manual calculation and this calculator's result. It is because we have this digit rounding problem. Just ignore it. 2-digit rounded will be okay. So now I want to calculate the future value of annuity. For the previous cash flow timeline of annuity, we have $100 in 4 consecutive periods. And for the $100 1 year later, it waits 3 periods to have this end value in the year of 4. So the future value of this $100 in year 1 will be 100 multiplied by 1.05 to the power of 3. So you wait for 3 periods to have this future value. Similarly, for the $100 in period 2, you wait for 2 periods to have this future value at year 4. For the $100 in year 3, you wait for 1 period to have this future value in year 4. Then you aggregate them together, you get this future value of annuity. It is $431.01. This future value of annuity is the sum of the future value of cash flow at each time point. Okay, now I want to use the calculator to do this calculation quickly. We have payment $100 at end of each period. We have discount rate as 5%. We have 4 periods in this annuity, and we do this annual compounding calculation. Now we want to know the future value of this annuity. It is $431.01. Now we have an interesting finding. Remember, we calculate the present value of annuity at $354. Now let's do the compounding calculation to get the future value of this $354. So it is $354.59, and the discount rate is 5%. We wait for 4 periods to have this future value. It is by annual frequency. Let's say the future value. It is $431.01. So it is exactly the future value of annuity we calculated in previous slide. In fact, we have an intuitive explanation for this coincidence. If you have $354 today and you wait for 4 periods to have this future value, it will be $431. So we find an alternative way to calculate the future value of annuity. This calculation will give us the future value annuity factor. In fact, if we use the present value annuity factor multiplied by 1 plus r to the power of t to the power of periods of this annuity, then we get the future value of annuity. It is 1 over interest rate multiplied by 1 plus interest rate to the power of periods minus 1. Isn't this interesting? Because we have this so here you have this growing process because you wait for some periods for this present value to be the future value.